Starting.
how far away you look.
You're
But
right.
normal particles are like the
What am I supposed to do
leaves
here?
on the tree. The closer you get, the bigger
Okay.
they look.
I like the
Okay.
idea of thinking of the leaves as the objects of the standard model because they have a definite size like a mass that a particle has. Whereas the branches of the tree don't have a definite size.
All of the particles that make up our universe have mass, which physicists believe exists because of the Higgs. But perhaps those particles and the Higgs are really being governed by an invisible world of unparticles
Nobody's viewing
that
me.
defy the laws of known physics. It would mean all matter particles in the universe are like the leaves on this tree. An invisible tree of unparticles may be their anchor, the secret underpinning of the entire cosmos.
That's really the point of unparticle physics. In order for this invisible tree to be interesting, it has to somehow interact with the particles of the standard model. The leaves will have to somehow be held up by that tree, or vice versa.
So far, there are no signs of unparticles at the LHC. But Howard isn't giving up as an unparticle physicist.
I don't think we've got the right picture, frankly. When you have something that strange and that different from what we know, it's tantalizing. And so I think it's worth continuing to try to beat on this complicated mathematics and see if we can
Hey
make some
guys,
more
I'm
progress.
here playing Minecraft. Sorry for the louder
If the
talking
Higgs
and other
goes on
talking.
with the
I was talking with someone else.
or
Sorry.
is there something else?
Anyways,
Something
what we're
more
doing
mysterious?
now is we're playing
Do we
on
all have
Minecraft.
existence
So
to something
yeah.
we might
Oh,
never
wait.
detect?
I got my nice
So now
little,
scientists continue to probe the dark particle they have triumphantly discovered, hoping they will one day find out. The Higgs boson has been playing a game of hide and seek for decades. Now that we have finally found it, or something like it, we have more questions than answers. Each time physicists find the key to one door, they open it just to find another door.
Anyways, guys,
And
so
then
this is
find
what
more.
I am doing.
Maybe the Higgs
I
boson
think
really
we,
is God's
if anyone's there,
spark.
vote for
A
what you
cosmic puzzle
for
whose
what we should
solution
do.
is just
I'm
another
on
puzzle,
Mineplex.
destined to remain an enigma. Everyone has a beginning. But when does that
Hang on.
beginning begin?
Hang on, guys.
Is it the instant two cells
Okay, guys, I'm back.
time, life itself? The secrets of the cosmos lie through the wormhole.
Hey, dude, I'm still live streaming, but do you think you can get some people to like join the live stream?
Life?
Yeah, I'm
is
doing a
a-
live stream.
That's a word we use when we are moved by
I'm using Google
and when we
Hangouts,
don't understand how it happens.
but it's on YouTube.
9 months before
What?
the child is born, it's just a handful of cells. No more complex, apparently, than the bacteria.
Yeah.
that
Do
live
you
on
think
our
you can
skin.
also get people to like
Both these clumps
join,
of cells have genes.
like join the YouTube
They
thing?
both reproduce.
Yeah, I'll give you the
One
link.
turns into something we value greatly. The other just makes us sick.
Okay.
But they are both miracles. A collection of chemicals with a mysterious spark of life. Did you ever make your own lunches growing up?
I need people to tell me what I should do.
Every once in a while,
Right now,
slice of bread.
right now I have 0 viewers.
Just seem to have appeared.
No joke.
I wonder what would happen if I left it alone. Would the mold keep growing into a fuzzy mold monster? It didn't. It was alive, but not in the way I was.
What?
What was it inside me that made me grow into a boy?
Why are you viewing it?
Maureen Condick is a biologist at the University of Utah School of Medicine. She spends her weekends traversing the Wasatch Mountains of Utah, where life springs up all around her.
As a biologist, it's always fascinating to come to mountains because there's such a diversity of life around you, and it all comes into being in radically different ways.
All organisms reproduce, but they have different ways of doing it. The aspen trees that pervade the mountains of Utah clone themselves.
What?
Offspring grow as shoots from the roots of more mature trees,
Wait, who, where?
creating growths
This?
that are really the same tree
This
grown
thing?
over and over again.
Oh,
Some
that.
worms
No, I don't think so.
create their next generations in a different way.
I'm not sure.
There's a whole class of worms known as planaria.
Are you viewing me though on the
Attaching the back
thing?
of their body to a rock and stretching
I'll
themselves
be right
out
back.
until they literally tear themselves in two. And then each of the two halves
Hello?
produce a full worm.
Nature offers myriad
Yeah.
ways for life to begin. But
Okay,
the one
how
that
are you?
fascinates Maureen is the way it happens for you and me. And no, it doesn't
That's
involve
good.
a stork.
So human life comes into existence
Yeah,
in just a
yes,
fraction
I
of a second.
have.
You have a human egg and a human sperm, and their sole purpose in life is to find each other and fuse. So they come together, and in that one instant, you create a new kind of cell.
I really don't want to
Human
talk
embryo.
about it.
This new cell has its own genetic code, its own DNA, that is a unique mixture of the egg.
Yeah, the $20.
and the
Remember the $20 you
It's
sent
a
over?
cell. There's a complete plan for development. Development doesn't create that information. It's there from the very beginning.
sperm. From her understanding of embryology,
I wasn't thinking
sees
straight at
the
that
life
time
of a
either
unique
anyways.
human individual begins within the quarter of a second it takes the sperm and the egg to unite. That single-celled embryo contains an elaborate instruction manual with all of the information needed to create a human being. You can think of it like a camping tent that builds itself.
Too.
So our tent is self-assembling because it
Yeah.
has all of the parts it needs to put itself together, and because it has a set of instructions built into it that allow it to
Yes,
assemble
it is.
into its final state.
Life is like this tent, only a billion times
Yeah.
more complex.
Cool.
After the single-celled embryo is formed, it takes a journey down the fallopian tubes to the uterus, where it begins the process of cell division, from 2 cells to
Yeah.
4 to 8 to 16 and so on. After about 1 week, the embryo arrives at the uterine wall and then plants
Yeah.
itself. A week later, cells of the embryo begin
Make
to
sure you miss
reorganize
it too.
themselves into a primitive body. After 3 weeks, the beginning of the nervous
Okay.
system is in place. As
Let me
days
see
go
it
on,
fly.
cells continue to multiply. Blood vessels form. The heart starts to beat. The backbone takes shape.
Why is your
The legs
face like that?
begin to bulge out. During that time,
Dude,
the formation of the brain begins.
why did you have that on your
The
face?
cells and tissues of the embryo undergo these amazingly complex
Yeah.
gymnastics to
Sorry.
give rise to structures, organs, complex relationships that
I was talking to
turn
my
that
dad.
embryo into something that has form.
Dude? Are you there?
Maureen's biological understanding of the development of the human embryo leaves her with little doubt about when a new human life begins.
Can you hear me?
We all trace our own origin
So why'd you type?
to this single cell that came into existence as spermate fusion. It's something we should try
Okay.
to understand.
Are you
as a
hearing me?
process
Is
of
anybody? Oh yeah,
as a
are you?
process of understanding our nature.
Are
This
you?
is where we began.
Are you viewing me on
Not all
whatchamacallit?
scientists trace an individual's
Google Play?
origins back to just 2 cells. In fact, some scientists believe within one individual there could be the ghosts of multiple lives. That life on Earth is an unbreakable chain of events where one generation and the next are blurred together.
When I was a kid, I would go and visit my grandfather, and he used to play chess, and I would go and watch him, and I grew up learning to play with him. And then my father also taught my son, and now my son and I play. I think there's an interesting parallel between chess that was passed from one generation to another, and what we know biologically now is the passage of cells between generations.
I'm adding someone to the call.
Dr. Hilary Campbell from the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center believes individual lives are more interwoven than we ever imagined. She wonders if inside all of us there are traces of our relatives dating back generations.
Hey Google boy.
My area focuses on the exchange of cells between a mother and fetus during pregnancy. The classic
Virgo boy, are
textbooks
you
used to
there?
state that there was absolutely no contact between the fetal blood and the maternal blood. They were just protected in separate
Virgo
compartments.
For years, scientists thought when the placenta
Virgo. Oh.
it acts as an impenetrable barrier between
Okay.
the mother and the fetus. So nothing as large
Hey,
as a
Gergo.
foreign cell with foreign genes could pass through. Baby's DNA
Oh.
stays within the baby, and mom's DNA stays with the mom.
I'll see you then.
By peering into the bloodstreams of mothers, Hillary and her team have discovered something remarkable. When they sampled just a teaspoon of blood from the mothers, they found dozens and dozens of foreign cells floating around. Cells from the mother's babies.
So we actually understand now that throughout pregnancy, there is bidirectional exchange of information, cells, and DNA between the mother and the fetus.
Hillary's work shows the placenta is not at all impenetrable. It's more like a sieve. There are minuscule holes that let cells out and let cells in. These foreign cells can survive in our bodies for decades. It's an exchange that happens not only between mother and fetus. Cells from other relatives may sneak in too.
It is theoretically possible that we could have cells that are exchanged from multiple different sources. Older siblings and certainly mothers and fetuses, but past generations as well.
When a mother acquires cells from
Why
a
did you?
fetus,
Why?
she could
Why
pass
aren't you
on these
replying?
baby cells to her next child.
Why
Another sibling could have cells
aren't
from the
you
body of another sibling.
replying?
These cells are more than just curiosity. They can act as soldiers in the body and combat disease.
Okay.
Those cells can be active against cancer cells that develop in the recipient.
But not all of these
What?
exchange cells protect and defend. When our immune system detects these foreign cells in the bloodstream, it may decide to attack them.
These small numbers of foreign cells that are persistent in an individual are associated with disease states like autoimmune diseases like systemic sclerosis.
Yes.
The exchange of cells may have both positive and negative
Yeah, I can.
consequences for the health of the individuals
Yes, I
involved.
can see you.
The presence of cells from our relatives could change the course of our entire lives,
Well, no.
making us all more interconnected than we ever
Good
thought
point.
possible.
Understanding that cells are exchanged commonly between individuals, I think blurs the borders between those individuals so that the beginning of one life and the end of another life are a little bit less clear.
I'm trying to get plugged in for my bucket server.
The life of some parts of our bodies actually begins before our sperm and egg have ever met. But one doctor in Stockholm wants to push the beginning of life in the other direction. He believes we cannot be alive until we know we are alive.
As farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance. Because what you
How
don't
can I
know,
still see the screen even though you're on the desktop? The other desktop.
Or the collision with wildlife on the road may not be covered.
Yeah, I know you're.
You know you could be liable for any accidents on your
I know.
property.
How can I see that still? I can still see that.
The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to farmers and get smarter about your insurance. We are farmers.
Whatever.
Try for a moment to imagine the shape of a ball.
Oh, I'm still live streaming. Sorry guys. Bye.